Hi once again, Gino. In this video, I'm going to be addressing your second challenge on anxiety. So here is Gino's question for all the viewers.
Hello, Evelyn. Thank you for your time. Okay, so I have two questions to ask you, and I really hope you can help me with this. Okay, one is how do I deal with overthinking? Because that makes me really indecisive and that stresses me, and more importantly, everybody around me. That doesn't help. And the second thing I want to ask you is how do I deal with anxiety? And that's from the fact that month on month my income keeps fluctuating, and that makes me really anxious. And I really want to find a way to deal with it, and I'm sure you can help me with that. So thank you, and thanks for your time. So yeah,
Hi Gino. Now I'm going to be addressing your second question on anxiety. So what is anxiety? It is a feeling of uneasiness or nervousness that we feel when we are unsure of the outcomes our life events hold. Obviously, we can never know what is the outcome of any and every event in our life. And for certain people, this makes them very anxious. It makes them really stressed and very, very anxious. Anxiety is not created from an event. Anxiety comes up from the meaning or interpretation that we give to a life event. The law of control begins and ends with our thoughts. So, the trick, my friends, is a very easy answer, but it takes a lot of practice and skill to master it. Have control of your thoughts. The only place in life where we can exercise our control is our thoughts. So, create amazing thoughts and change your entire life. Now, coming to coping up with anxiety. So, Gino, in your case, as you've said, you have financial highs and lows. That is, your income fluctuates every month. So, there's an uncertainty. And as I said, uncertainty of the outcome, or because you do not have control of your income, therefore, lack of control makes you anxious. So, how do you cope with it? First, I'm going to begin with certain aspects to do with your finances. So, the first thing, if you're not already doing it, work on creating budgets. But create two budgets, one on a high income scenario and one on a low income scenario. So, you have two budgets which prioritize your essentials. And on your high or low income months, you're going to use those budgets. Secondly, create an emergency fund. So, what I want you to do is to think of a figure which is very feasible and realistic for you to pull out every month, regardless if your income is high or low, and put that in an emergency fund. So, whenever or if ever you have an emergency expense coming up, at that time you do not need to be anxious or stressed. You can pull that amount out of your emergency fund. Third, ensure and make a conscious effort of saving in your high income months. So, what happens is sometimes we just get carried away, which is, of course, human nature. When we are on a high income month, we try to improvise our lifestyle and just add on our expenses, sometimes things that are not needed at all. So, in those months, I want you to think of a particular figure and pull that out and put that in your emergency fund bank, and that is the sort of contingency planning for you which is obviously going to relieve you. So you have an emergency fund or quota on a side. Whenever required, whenever there's an emergency expense, you can use it. And I also want you to diversify your income sources. So, as I know you're a fitness coach, so if you can look into options like freelancing or investments, you can meet people who are related in the investment field and look for high investment returns and make some good investments or do some part time work. So, this is all on the financial front. Other than that, I want you to please look into all the pointers I've shared on my video of overthinking. Look into those are great coping mechanisms which work for anxiety, because overthinking and anxiety are also linked. So look into all those mechanisms, and in addition to that, I have two other pointers for you. Do not hesitate to join support groups. They're online and offline support groups with people who have common challenges and issues around anxiety. And when you talk to them, I know at certain times we feel very hesitant to join these groups, but when you join them and you hear out first-hand stories from people of their coping mechanisms and their stories, it gives you a diversified opinion on how to deal with your challenge. And other than that, when you talk in these support groups, your stress levels and anxiety levels drop because you're having a healthy conversation, people are listening to you, giving you feedbacks, and automatically you feel less anxious. Lastly, I want to say, Gino, do invest in breath work. I've said it in my previous video, but breath work techniques and meditation really, really help. Make it a practice, do it every day, and it will really calm you and relax you, relieve you of your anxiety. And anxiety is something that we all face at some or the other time in life. Like giving a job interview, we may feel anxious. Sitting for an examination, we may feel anxious. Remember, this is very, very normal because this anxiety subsides after the interview, after the exam. But if your anxiety level has reached at a stage where it is disrupting your daily activities, then my friends, make note. This is the time you need intervention, you need help, you need to seek support, you need to see a therapist. Do not let anxiety disrupt your daily routine. That's it for now. Gino, I hope that has helped you. And if you have any further questions, please feel free and get back to me. Have a beautiful day to all of you. See you soon.